Hello students, let's continue with the chapter 2 acids, bases and salts. In the last video we had discussed about the pH scale and its applications. And now I am going to tell you about the salts and its compound which can be prepared from NaCl. First of all, we should know what do we mean by salt. Students, salt, it is an ionic compound. It is an ionic compound which is made up of an cation and an anion. Cation, that is carrying the positive charge. For example, we are taking Na plus, and anion which is carrying a negative charge. So cation and anion, and they are bonded together by a strong electrostatic force of attraction. This electrostatic force of attraction we will discuss in chapter 3rd. And it is also called as ionic bond because it is formed between the ions. This cation is coming from the base, so it is also called as basic radical. And this anion, it is coming from the acid, so it is also called as acidic radical. And we know that salts, they are formed during the neutralization reaction. Whenever acids combines with the base, it results in the formation of salt along with water. So salts are the ionic compounds made up of cations and anions. And in this category, we are going to take this NaCl, an important salt. And from this NaCl, various compounds can be formed. And in this category, the first one, the compound which we are going to discuss, it is NaOH, sodium hydroxide. This is also called as caustic soda. So now in this class, today's class, we are going to discuss about how to prepare NaOH and what are the different products when NaOH is prepared. Along with that, what are the different products and their uses. Okay. So let's start with the NaOH. We know sodium hydroxide is a strong base. Now, brine solution. What is brine solution? Aqueous solution of sodium chloride. That means NaCl plus H2O. Whenever brine solution is electrolyzed, that means electricity is passed in the aqueous solution of NaCl. So NaCl plus H2O. This is called as brine, and when you are passing electricity, then it ionizes. This NaCl, because it is a salt, as I have already told you, it ionizes to form the corresponding cations and anion. Okay, because cation, it gets surrounded by the water molecule, so we are writing aqueous. Chloride ion is also anion, it is also an ion, so it was surrounded by the water molecules. Now, along with this, water molecule also ionizes to a little extent, and it is going to form H plus ion along with OH ions. Okay, now when we are having the ions in the solution, they reaches to cathode and anode. Now, you should remember cation goes to cathode. So, A. That means cation goes to cathode, anion goes to anode. So, here we are having two cations, hydrogen and sodium ion. Here the H ions, they reaches, and H ions, they are having positive charge, that means they are having deficiency of one electron. They will gain one electron and it will form H atom. This H, that is the nascent hydrogen atom, it is unstable. So, two hydrogen atoms will combine to form hydrogen gas. So, which gas is formed at cathode? Hydrogen gas. Similarly, at anode, we are going to have either the chloride ions or the hydroxide ions. So, here the chloride ions reaches. Okay, now this chloride ion is having -1 charge. How -1 charge is acquired? By taking one electron. So on reaching the anode, it will lose this electron and forms the Cl atom along with one electron. And this nascent chlorine, it is unstable. So 2Cl will combine to form chlorine gas. So at anode, which gas is formed? Chlorine. Okay, now in the solution, Na plus ions and OH minus ions are left, so they combines Na plus combines with OH minus and it forms NaOH into the solution and is formed near the cathode. So now the overall reaction can be written like this: twice NaCl plus twice H2O. When electricity is passed, then what is the product formed? NaOH plus hydrogen plus chlorine. Okay, so this is the overall reaction. So here I had written brine solution, that is aqueous solution of NaCl. It is undergoing electrolysis. Apparatus used for this purpose, it is, please note it down, Kastner-Kellner cell. I am just removing it from here, students, so that we can write the spelling clearly. Kastner-Kellner-CE. Okay, Kastner-Kellner cell is used to prepare the NaOH. Then this process is also called as chlor-alkali process because the product formed are chlorine and alkali, that is NaOH. Okay, now I had summarized the uses over here, students. NaOH, when it undergoes we should write here NaCl. NaCl along with water, that means brine solution, when it undergoes electrolysis, we are getting hydrogen gas formed at cathode, chlorine gas formed at anode, NaOH. Okay, now their uses. Hydrogen gas, we know that liquid hydrogen is used as a fuel. Vanaspati ghee and artificial butter, they are also prepared with the hydrogen by the process of hydrogenation. Ammonia, what is the formula of ammonia? NH3. So hydrogen is used to prepare ammonia by the process of Haber's process, that you will study in higher classes. Nitrogen, when combines with hydrogen, it forms the ammonia, and the process name is Haber's process. Okay, now chlorine. Chlorine, it is used as germicide and disinfectant for the sterilization of water. In the swimming pools and all that, you must have heard that water is cleaned by adding the chlorine gas. Okay, it is also used for the preparation of pesticides. PVC, polyvinyl chloride. CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, that is used for the refrigerants, aerosol. COCl2, this is bleaching powder. In the next section we are going to discuss about this bleaching powder. It can also be used to make DDT. If you know the DDT, it is used in the houses for killing the these insects and all that. The full form of DDT is diphenyl trichloroethane. Okay, HCl, hydrochloric acid, is also prepared by the chlorine. And now in the last here, NaOH can also be used in soaps, detergents. They are prepared, soaps and detergents are prepared with the help of sodium hydroxide, in degreasing the metals, and in the last, making paper and artificial fibers. So here we have to simply learn this uses, and then we have to understand the chlor-alkali process. Our second compound, it is bleaching powder. The other names of the bleaching powder are calcium oxychloride. See, first of all we should see the formula, chemical formula. It is CaOCl2, calcium oxychloride. Bleaching powder is also called as calcium oxychloride or chloride of lime or calcium hypochlorite. So these are the various names of the bleaching powder. First of all, we see the equation for the preparation of this bleaching powder. When slaked lime, students, calcium hydroxide, it is called as the slaked lime. When combines with chlorine gas, okay, it forms calcium oxychloride. Now, calcium oxychloride is formed. So, what is left behind? H2O. And this calcium oxychloride, it is bleaching powder. Now, you can tell me how we can prepare this slaked lime. In the previous chapter, we had studied that when quicklime combines with water, it forms calcium hydroxide. and this is called as slaked-lime. This is called as quicklime. Calcium oxide is also called as quicklime. When combines with water, it was forming slaked-lime. And from where we are getting this chlorine? In the previous one, when we had electrolyzed brine solution, in that chlorine gas was formed at anode electrode. Okay, so in this way we can prepare the bleaching powder. Now students, we have to focus on their uses. For bleaching, it is used for bleaching. If it is used to bleach cotton and linen, then it will be finding its use in the textile industry. Okay, if it is used to bleach paper, obviously it will be used in paper industry. And if it is used to bleach washed clothes, then it finds its use in laundries. Okay, so first use for bleaching, either cotton and linen, paper or washed clothes. Second use, it can be used as oxidizing agents for different chemical compounds, for the manufacturing of different chemical compounds. It can also be used as disinfectant for drinking water. Okay, bleaching powder, it is used for disinfecting water. Now students, I am going to tell you a little part about its bleaching action. It is not there in our NCERT book, but for our extra knowledge, we will go through it. Okay, how the bleaching action is done. First of all, the fabric which has to be bleached, it is kept in one tank which is having the solution of bleaching powder. First, that fabric, it is dipped into the solution of bleaching powder. Second step, that fabric, now it is dipped into a dilute solution of either hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. Now this bleaching powder combines with the hydrochloric acid. Okay, so first step we can summarize here. First step, fabric, it is dipped in bleaching powder. Bleaching powder solution. Okay, after this, dipped in dilute hydrochloric acid solution or H2SO4 solution. Now the calcium oxychloride bleaching powder reacts with HCl and it forms calcium chloride, water and chlorine. Now this chlorine, actually it bleaches the fabric. Okay, so this chlorine do its bleaching action. Now excess of this chlorine, it is removed from the fabric by adding anti-chlor. That means the fabric, it is now dipped into the anti-chlor solution. Third step, dipped in anti-chlor. Anti-chlor, that means it removes excess of chlorine like hypo solution. Hypo solution, I had written the formula of hypo solution, Na2S2O3. Or it can be sodium sulfite, Na2SO3. Okay, this is sodium sulfite. So both of them are acting as an anti-chlor. And what is the role of anti-chlor? It removes the excess of chlorine. This is the hypo solution. Sodium thiosulfate. This is actually sodium thiosulfate. I just write down its name also. Sodium thiosulfate. Okay. Now this hypo solution, it reacts with water and Cl2 and it converts that excess of chlorine into HCl, sodium sulfate and sulfur. So after taking out from the anti-chlor solution, finally washed with water. It is finally washed with water and dried. So in the 4 steps, the bleaching action it is performed. The third compound or the substance which we are preparing from NaCl, it is the baking soda, which is also called as sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. Its formula is NaHCO3. first we have prepared sodium hydroxide, second we have prepared bleaching powder, and this is the third one. First let's see the reaction, how it is prepared. Students, first I will write the brine. Okay, what is the formula of brine? NaCl plus H2O. Okay, along with this carbon dioxide and ammonia gas. Okay, here carbon dioxide and ammonia gas, they forms this NaHCO3 along with NH4Cl. Okay, and NaHCO3, it is nothing but it is the sodium bicarbonate, that is our baking soda. Okay, now here students, we are going to focus more on the uses, because each of the use is quite important and many questions can be framed on it. This is our main substance, that is the baking soda. First of all, it is used in making cakes, bread or pakoras. So why? What is there? Because of that we are using this NaHCO3. First of all, you should know that NaHCO3, it is a salt made up of NaOH strong base and the weak acid H2CO3. So what is the nature of this salt? It is alkaline. Okay, here we are talking about its use in pakoras, or I had written one more word, food faster. If you have noticed that whenever your mother in the kitchen, she is preparing pakoras in the rainy season generally, then she is adding some baking soda. So baking soda का use करने का what is the purpose? That I will tell you by the means of chemical reaction. And if sometimes she forgets to soak the gram seeds or the rajma beans in the night, and in the morning if she is soaking them, she used to add this baking soda so that it can be easily cooked. Now let's see the reaction, students. This NaHCO3, when it is added in a compound and in a pakora, in a batter of that besan, or when it is added to the cakes or bread, it on heating, it forms Na2CO3 along with H2O and CO2. Okay, that means sodium bicarbonate on heating, which is added in the batter of the cake or the pakoras, whatever you are preparing, on heating it forms sodium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide. Now when this carbon dioxide gas is produced, it rises upwards, and when it rises upwards, it gives the softness and the sponginess to the food, whatever it is added. Okay, so it is used in making the crispy pakoras. Because of the formation of carbon dioxide, it becomes soft and spongy. Okay, now second use I had written in making baking powder. Baking powder, it is nothing. So I am writing baking powder, it is nothing else but in baking soda, if some mild edible acid like tartaric acid is added, then it becomes baking powder. So what is baking powder? Baking soda plus mild edible acid, that is like tartaric acid, then it forms the baking powder. Now what is the use of this mild edible acid, tartaric acid, which we had added? See students, here this salt is formed, Na2CO3. If it is not removed, it gives a bitter taste. You must have heard, or you can talk to your mother, ask your mother, if this baking soda, sometimes it is added in a little more amount, then it gives a bitterness to the food. So if this Na2CO3 sodium carbonate form, if it is removed, then it will not give that bitterness. So what is the role of tartaric acid? It removes this Na2CO3, and along with this it also gives a pleasant smell to the food. Okay, so baking powder, it is baking soda plus mild edible acid. Third use is antacid. What are antacids? Students, we all know that in the wall of the stomach there is in the walls of the stomach this secretes an acid that is called as hydrochloric acid. And you all know what is the purpose of hydrochloric acid. For the digestion purpose, there is an enzyme called as pepsin. Okay, for the working of pepsin, it requires the acidic medium into the stomach, and this pepsin is secreted in the form of pepsinogen. So from pepsinogen, it is converted into pepsin with the help of this HCl acid only, and it also kills the germs over there. So you might have studied in the biology section what is the role of this HCl into the stomach. Now I am telling you about the problem acidity. Whenever there is an excess of acid secreted by the walls of the stomach, then it leads to the problem acidity. And sometimes there is such a large amount of acid is formed that it start eating the mucous membrane of the stomach. Okay, and ulcers can develop. So to cure this problem of acidity, antacids are taken. Okay, antacids क्या करते हैं? They neutralizes that excess of acid which has been formed. Okay, and it is used in antacid because it's having the alkaline nature. So we can write because of its alkaline nature. It can be used as antacid. So I can write the reaction. Which acid is formed here in the stomach? HCl. It combines with baking soda, NaHCO3. In the second chapter only we had studied bicarbonates and acids. Whenever they form, the products are salt, carbon dioxide and water. So salt, it will be Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2. Okay, so in this way they neutralizes the acid which is formed in the stomach. And the last use, it is used as soda acid fire extinguisher. Soda acid, here we are taking the H2SO4. Acid, sulfuric acid, when combines with NaHCO3, again acid plus bicarbonate, same the products will be salt, carbon dioxide and water. Which salt is going to form? Na and sulfate. So the formula will be Na2SO4 along with carbon dioxide and water. And here the CO2 form, it is used as fire extinguisher. Okay, so students, in today's class we have discussed about the three compounds. First is sodium hydroxide, second is bleaching powder, and the third one, it is the baking soda. Please keep on revising the reactions as well as do the questions so that you can be comfortable with the topic. Thank you.